So, Twitch is live, recording has started. So, it is my very largest pleasure to introduce an amazing team, an amazing project that just took the space by storm over the last couple of months. I've gotten to know the team relatively well through some discussions about blockchain, as well as esports and apparel, actually. And I am very, very happy and to welcome Team Artifact to the Whale Discord for a Whale FM interview. So let's all give a huge welcome to Benoit, Chris, and Zeptio. Is that how I pronounce it?
That's correct. Yeah.
Zeptio,
Zaptio,
right?
yeah. Z, are you
There
there?
So guys, we are so fortunate to have the founders of Artifact with us today. Just to give everyone a brief introduction, and guys, correct me if I'm wrong. So I'm reading this off of your website, but Artifact is basically about next-gen sneakers. RTFKT, also pronounced as Artifact, love the name by the way, is a collective of creators merging worlds of gaming and craftsmanship to create virtual and physical next-gen collectible sneakers for the best esports, gaming, and entertainment celebrities. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what we do for now, and that's what we've been doing since we started. Exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha. So I guess to kick off this interview, why don't we do this? If we could get a brief introduction of what is Artifact, who is Artifact, and what was the story behind how Artifact was created? I know that the community would love to hear more.
Yeah. So guys, if you want, I can take that one, or
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Chris
Benoit.
and Z. Yeah. So I mean, Artifact, as you said. So yeah, the name is Artifact, and it's because also we all come from gaming, and we all we always love artifacts you can collect in game, and the things with these artifacts is that they have incredible value. They can come from past or future civilizations, and we thought that it was a great thing how you could call collectibles in that way, and we wanted to really bring to life a new way to think of collectibles as kind of magic objects that you carry to flex, or that you showcase with your content to your friends. And also we want these objects to not be static, in a sense that in most video games, when you get an object, it starts as a very boring object, but then as you do stuff with it and you do your quest and your character is progressing, that object is going to grow and evolve with you. So that was the principle of how we named the company. And we started actually a year ago, right in the middle of the pandemic, which was interesting. It's part of our brand story now, in a sense, because we started in January 2020. And we started because we met together 2.5 years ago, the three of us, and we really, it was kind of like a natural connection, in a sense. Me at the time, I was the brand and marketing director of the esports team called Fnatic, which is one of the biggest teams in the world and the biggest in Europe. And I was working there in charge of all the brand and marketing. And I come as well from a fashion background, and I followed a lot what was happening in streetwear, etc. And at the time, I was working with different artists on some apparel collections. And I contacted Chris, who's he's mostly known for his surname called ClegFX. Chris, so he can tell you more about that after. He's one of the most prolific and famous skin designers on Counter-Strike. So the two most famous skins he did are Point Disarray and what's the other one, Chris?
Primal Saber.
Primal Saber, yeah. So we worked together to make first some gun skins on Counter-Strike, and then after we adapted those skins on some sneakers. And then after we got really great response on it, and had amazing engagement on Instagram, on Fnatic. It was the most engaged post we ever had. And then after we thought, okay, we need to turn that into some real sneakers. And then we looked for who's the best guy to make custom kicks. And we found Zaptio, who was, he's quite famous for that. He's got articles on Forbes around all the stuff he's done in custom. He's one of the OG guys that really made custom shoes big. And so we got along together. We made physical versions of these virtual sneakers we made with Chris for my League of Legends players, who at the time were participating at Worlds, which was in Korea, I think, 2018. And my players, they went in the final, they lost in the final, but they wore the shoes. Everyone wanted the shoes. And then the three of us really got along together really well, and understood that we not only share the common passion, but also a vision towards what could be the future of fashion, and how, objects can exist both in a virtual world and in a real world, and how they can be augmented, and how people are these days within the sneaker industry and the sneaker market, which Steven is a big specialist of. How there's a big resale market and secondary market around sneakers, and we thought, okay, like these days, the kids and the audience we work with and the gamers, their virtual life is more important than their physical life, and that's something that got increased even more with the virus times we're living in. And we thought, okay, like what if we created the first brand that's really born from gaming, where we create everything virtually first, and then we start to turn these virtual items into physical collectibles, because we believe that in the future, most people will have virtual items as their assets, and only a few people really want to flex or a bit, or have like kind of a hobby still to have like physical collectibles. Some of them will have like collector versions, physical versions of these items. So that's how we started, and and we mainly, I think it was mostly a kind of like a really deep connection we immediately felt between the three of us. That's how you do companies. We all had our own, business at the time that was doing really well, but we thought it was really once in a lifetime. You meet people with such great connections, and we thought, okay, fuck it, let's drop our other business and let's start to work on Artifact to make something really unique in the market.
That's amazing. I mean, I love the fact that number one, it sounds like a dream team, right? You have the ex head of marketing and branding from one of the largest esports teams in the world. You have one of the most prolific and well-known sneaker designers, and you have one of the most famous skin designers from CS, and I'm sure other games as well. That just sounds like a collision of supernovas there.
No, but that's what we said. We said it was too good to be true. Also we have the cool thing as well is that each of us, we have like different passion points. And so we really, when we combine the three of us together, we have a really good understanding of what's happening in the culture, whether it is in hip hop, in anime, in gaming, in fashion, and in crypto as well. And so that's what we thought it was like, an opportunity you don't see in that much. And we decided to work together. And the cool thing is that, so it's been 1 year and we still have fun every day, right? And we talk together every day. So that's quite important, because even though, it's a business and it's just, we're trying to achieve really big things, mainly we always strive to always do stuff that excites us, that is innovative for us, and that is also fun to work on.
Amazing. So, Chris and Zapnu, do you guys want to hop in and give a short introduction so the community can get to know you better?
Yeah, of course. You want me to go first, guys?
Yeah, go
good.
for it.
Okay. Yeah, so quick background on myself before I met Benoit and Zaptio. I actually worked in entertainment, in actually all fields of entertainment for the past 15 years, starting in the music industry first, in the hip-hop scene. That's where I gained my skill set to become a designer and like a film director, directing a bunch of music videos and stuff. Then I moved directly into film to direct like a few movies, one of them being on Netflix with Danny Trejo. So did a lot of these like B movies where we casted like B actors. And then from there, that's when I went into the gaming scene and just stuck there since then, designing a bunch of skins. I started in the Dota 2 scene first, designing a bunch of skins there before moving on to Counter-Strike, which led me to having a skin in PUBG, and I technically have a skin in Fortnite, but it was basically super inspired by one of my skins. But I tell everybody I have a skin in Fortnite. Yeah, so that's where I'm at right now, just way into this whole virtual space, because coming from the Counter-Strike skin scene, I understood that there was going to be a future for collectible digital art. And I saw the kids progress in trading, because a lot of these little kids, they learn trading and collecting art through the Steam marketplace. And when I saw that, I knew there was going to be a future where it's going to be mainstream to your everyday mom and pop, buying digital goods, because I feel like we're heading towards like a whole VR, AR world where that's just going to be part of the everyday human norm.
Yeah, and just if I can interject in one thing, because he's always downplaying it a bit, but his film background I never really understood what I mean. He did movies with Danny Trejo and zombie movies, all on his own, directing, making the special effects, making the props, making everything on his own. But I really realized how he was, because when we founded the company, we did a celebration trip in Japan in December last year, and we were in a weird bar in Tokyo.
Oh yeah, it was called Piss Alley, right, Benoit? I think that's what it's called, like
We
Piss
were
Alley.
there,
Yeah.
and we drank shots with, like, the bartender was like super cool Japanese girl, and she was fan of B movies, and we spent like 2 hours there, Chris, or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, 2 hours.
And just
yeah.
at the end, she realized that he directed a zombie movie that she was a big fan of. And suddenly she became ultra, like, Japanese fangirl, and like took pictures with him, asked him to sign his name on the wall. And I realized, wow, these B movies are super well known by proper Japanese otakus. So it was quite cool.
It's because I forgot. I forgot they played in theaters in Japan. It's because when we would do our movies, you never know where the film gets sold to different countries. But yeah, it was surprising to me too. It was kind of shocking.
Cool,
yeah.
Benoit, Chris might be downplaying himself, but you got to drop that title down there so all of us can get onto this
it's called
movie, zombie movie.
It's called Zombie Hunter. Please don't judge the ratings on IMDb. These are B movies that I do on my own. Zombie Hunter with Danny Trejo. And then I have another movie with him called Cartel 2045 with Danny Trejo again.
Guys, I will definitely be watching that as my end of day today. So thank you very much.
Awesome. Yeah.
Dude, Chris, it sounds amazing. Again, if you guys are ever in Japan again to celebrate, 2 years, 3 years, make sure you ping me. I'll take you guys to a lot of weird bars in Tokyo.
That's what I like to hear, man.
Yeah,
the weird stuff.
sure.
We were looking for that the whole time. All the weird bars.
Awesome. Dude, Zaptio, my friend.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm Zaptio, formerly known as Steven. My background's sort of digital marketing and sneakers. I started up in the industry growing Instagram pages, funnily enough, selling them to big brands such as Crop Protect and Fashion Nova. Through that, I got heavily involved in the sneaker industry, collecting and buying sneakers. From there, I set up one of the most successful automation companies for Supreme to help people buy Supreme without the sort of waiting times. After that, I set up a company around sustainable fashion called Heat that were both successful. And then after that, I set up a customization business that became one of the most successful. We did collaborations with Microsoft with their biggest IPs, including Minecraft and Gears of War. Through that, I sort of got really bored about the sneaker industry, because the sneaker industry is controlled by major brands such as Nike and Adidas, due to the reason that starting up making physical sneakers is a huge cost and it prevents smaller businesses getting involved. Through there, then after meeting Chris and Benoit, we all had the same vision of creating something innovative and exciting for the new generation of people who are into sneakers. So that's how we all got together, and a brief background on what I do.
That's again an amazing background, amazing experience. Again, I reiterate, this is probably the first time that I've had the opportunity to interview 3 supernovas coming together to create this ultimate nova project that I see over here. And I didn't know where each of you guys were from. I know, but then just listen to your accent. I think we got 1 American, 1 French, and 1 British, right?
Correct.
Yeah, but no, it's not. So just little story, and sorry if there's some British guys in the audience, but I would never make, and sorry, Whale, because I know you're British, but you live in Hong Kong, so you're not really British anymore. But I would never make a business with a British person, personally.
Mhm.
And Steven, he's got some Russian, Bulgarian origin, so he's gangsta, so that's why he's good. He's not truly an English guy. Yeah.
I mean, it really flows into, and I know, Benoit, you and I have had conversations about this, about workflow and digital workflow. But when you said, COVID really, it's really become a part of our brand story. The 3 of you guys live all around North America and Europe, and I mean, I can't imagine that you guys are able to see each other every day with COVID, right?
No, we don't. I mean, we're used now to just call each other. Like, we call each other every day. We text each other all the time. And I think last time we were the three of us fully together was in
London.
February in London. We
Yeah,
were together, but then after all the lockdown started to happen, so we all split again. But we are used to it anyway. Like, so it doesn't really change that much the workflow. It's just that there's no, yeah, we can't be like behind screen, the screen of Chris telling him change it or change that. But I think it's for the better because we all trust each other. We all know what we have to do, and we work super well together. So there's really been no impact in terms of being remote on the work we were outputting, in a sense, so far. I guess we will never know what it would be if we were together in the office, but we immediately agreed on that, and we think that once traveling is back again, what we like to do is to travel together to get some inspiration and some time together in some cool places, like we did in Japan when we just started the company. But so far it's been great and it works well, so we're cool with it. And we play games together as well, so yeah.
We started the company digitally first anyways too, so
yeah.
That's might I ask, so besides the three founders, I'm sure that you guys also have other resources around the world. Where is your team based?
So we don't actually. So what we do is that for the physical craftsmanship side of things, and it's actually quite cool what we did, because initially we started with a small team that Steven used to work with a workshop we set up in London. But with the virus coming and all of that, like, we thought it was like hard to manage, and we got lucky in the sense that because we really want to work with experts in their craft. And right during the lockdown and the virus stuff, we got introduced to a team working for Clark's, CLARK. It's like
those are the shoes that I used to wear as a schoolboy, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. So it's a traditional, really good shoemaking company. And them, which is weird, like we got introduced first to their 3D prototyping team because we wanted to have some insights from them on some of the 3D printing techniques we're making for the physical shoes. And we got along really well. And the weird thing is that when the virus happened, they did a lot of layoff, just like a lot of retail-based companies did, because they all had like the worst year in their life. And they laid off a lot of the people from the 3D prototyping team, as well as one of their most senior product developer that was in charge of all their collaborations. And who's an amazing guy. He's a Brazilian. He's born in a shoe factory in Brazil. So we're not even inventing that. He's born in a shoe factory from his parents. And we got along with him super well. And we decided we shifted the workshop to the north of England in Somerset. So we just took a small space there, and we hired him, as well as the girl who was in charge of all the 3D, that used to be in charge of all the 3D printing at Clark's. And we made just a very, very small team of two very expert craftsmen people to handle all the physical production for the sneakers. And we did it in Somerset, which is like the place to be in England if you're looking for shoemaker experts. So what we're doing with that space is that he's running it for the orders we have, but also we're letting him use to train people who want to learn shoemaking, and do workshops there for people who want to learn the craft and etc. So it's quite cool because we're really taking a real proper shoemaker that's really excited to work with us, because basically all the projects that were normally killed in a big company that never go past the prototyping stage, it's exactly the projects we really want to make. So it's quite challenging for him, but it's really great because he's been doing that at Clark's for like more than 20 years. And now he works with the three of us with our crazy sneakers ideas, and he really loves it. And he's really good at his job. And we learn a lot from him as well. And that's the most important, is always to surround yourself by people you can learn from. So that's really cool for us.
Real quick, big shouts to Daler and Rasa, because they're kind of like the supernovas as well. If you guys don't know them, like Rasa worked on sneakers, like a collab with NASA. She's also been featured on what's that TV show in the UK?
The Apprentice.
The Apprentice. They had a whole sneaker episode, and she was featured on there too. So yeah, there are supernovas for the company.
Yeah, they're great. So we have them, and go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, and in terms of the sneaker production, we're always trying to push the boundaries of what's possible, and the sneaker industry is very limited at the moment, as I was saying before. And with the team that we have, we're always looking to innovate and do things that normally would seem impossible. So that's what's really cool about what we're trying to do.
you guys have created the perfect segue, because I've been looking at the stream text chat as we speak, as we've gone through. Someone quoted that you guys are gonna bankrupt him because his kid loves sneakers. And George Boy actually came up because I do have your Instagram page up here, and I do want to go through a few more interesting posts over here, and you guys can tell me about it. And that way we can actually get to learn about sneakers, because I know that, again, we're talking about digital AR sneakers as well as physically made sneakers. I know you guys have a very high profile sneaker as well, and we'll segue there eventually. But why don't we start off with your very first post? Why don't we start off with your the first two posts? And what I'll do is I'll play this for the community so that they can take a look. So we'll play this one first. That is insane. That is insane.
The classic one, man.
Dude, I love it, right? Iron Man sneakers and a Thanos Gucci gauntlet, right?
Yeah.
Why don't we take a look at this one over here, and then you guys can tell me about the importance of this piece.
For sure.
I know I don't know anyone who hasn't turned into some sort of a Marvel or DC fan over the last 3 years with the rise of Marvel and DC movies, and again, this is George is saying I think George was saying, love me some Iron Man shoes, cool. So tell me about this. This is your very first post. Yep.
I'll start with this. What I love about working with Benoit and Z is just we always have crazy ideas every day. So this all started with I don't remember who it was. It was Z or
it was Z, I think.
Z. Yeah, it was during when Avengers was coming out. So the thing is, we always like to follow pop culture trends. And then we go for any geek references, video game references, right? So I remember Z was like, "Hey man, Avengers, we gotta do a whole series where we create sneakers based off of all the the Avengers IPs, so like Black Panther, Iron Man. Unfortunately, I didn't get through all of them, but the first one obviously was Iron Man because it's all of our favorites. Iron Man is my favorite character out of the Marvel universe. So we were like, okay, so how do we design a sneaker that looks like it could be kind of functional, and Tony Stark would wear it, but also it caters to the streetwear scene as well, and we decided this is probably the first cool shoe that we should release and then do viral content with Zaptio. So the idea behind it was to create a sneaker where it looked like you can make it, like where I thought about the servo placements. So okay, let's add an area in the back where like your typical cosplay guy can go in and make, right? Because I've seen these dudes on Instagram make actual Iron Man costumes with masks, and I thought if we were to do this in the future, how would I design it to make it work? And yeah. So Z, you can
100%. And another thing,
fill in the gap.
100%. And what we were trying to sort of show off with the first post we've ever done is our sort of long-term vision. Is when we create these artifacts, we want people to be able to use them and to flex them digitally. So we were sort of teasing our long-term vision of using AR to allow people to create content with these artifacts, and that's where you see that funny video of me.
Yeah. So everyone thought it was Nicolas Cage, by the way.
a steampunk Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
exactly. And from my background of social media marketing, I understood me and Chris really well know what it takes to go viral on Instagram. So we knew using this sort of realism mixed with CGI would go super viral. We gained, I think, 2 to 3 million views on our first ever video and kicked off Artifact with a bang. So it was a pretty.
It doesn't
iconic...
say it. It doesn't say it right there, but it's just because a lot of big social media accounts, even Complex and all the big media outlets, reposted it. So it overall, cumulatively,
we got a Ghostface Killer as well that shared it, right?
Yeah, Ghostface posted this from Wu-Tang Clan. I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many things that happen, we just forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It means, guys. It means that you guys are having so much fun, and your accomplishments are just piling up, right? So the next one is bigger than the last.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, once again, I don't think again before Robert Downey Jr. took on the Iron Man mantle. Again, Iron Man wasn't as popular as, and if you ask anyone today, I think like 50% will tell you Iron Man is their favorite. So this just looks amazing. And then after that, you guys went forward, right? You guys went even forward with the Marvel theme,
Yep.
Yeah.
with the Infinity Gems, right?
Yep.
That is just so cool. So question. So once again, I mean again, these are inspired by Marvel. They look awesome. Did Marvel ever reach out to you guys and say, hey, can we make physical versions of these?
Well, not with these ones, unfortunately. Yeah, I thought we would get a call from them by now, Benoit. Surprisingly, yeah.
At the time was that we were just so new. We were just a small.
That's true. Yep.
With 2 or 3 viral videos, no one really understood what we were doing at the time because we were just in the teasing phase. So
you know what's crazy? Now, if we release something, I bet you anything Marvel reach out, because we got reached out by a lot of like major video game publishers and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did another Marvel shoe, Zaptio, that we get a call.
Chris, Alec Ria is saying he needs him some Hulk kicks. So I think a green beast is in order here.
Yep.
All right, I am going to save one of them for a. I am going to save something else for a for a segue, right? Because I do want to talk about Bitcoin eventually, but I do want to talk about the shoes because these shoes are just amazing. I did want to talk about. Let me see here. So out of these that I'm scrolling through, let me know which ones you guys you guys really it was I know every single sneaker was significant to you guys, but if there's something on here that you guys want to touch on in more detail, just let me know. I'm trying to find. I want to see.
I think that video would be a good one to go off just above the cyber sneaker.
Nice. Okay. Yep. We're gonna save this. We're gonna save the cyber sneaker for a tiny bit. Which one? The cyber sneaker?
The one under
the Elon Musk. Yeah.
This one over here?
With the,
on the left, the very left one. Yeah, that was actually our most viral video. That one.
Oh, this one over here.
Yeah, the most viral one. Yeah.
So I can kick this one off. So with us, we always have great ideas, and we've been thinking like, what could we bring to the sneaker market that hasn't been done before? And Chris coming from like a gaming skin background and us understanding the whole gaming economy and how skins are used to show off status, we thought it would be cool to create a prototype where you have screens on your shoes and you can link it to digital objects that you own to stream to basically stream the design that you have onto the sneaker. So we were actually in Las Vegas for CES, and me and Chris were looking for manufacturers. Chris whipped up this video to sort of tease the fact of what we're trying to build, and with this video, it was our most viral video, if I'm correct.
Yeah, even Grimes, Elon Musk's girlfriend, liked it, right? Like she saw it on Days magazine. Yeah, this one got, I would say easily, this one received 50 million views overall. Like it got featured on almost every major outlet online, like every magazine. Yeah.
We find that very exciting because when our videos go viral, it's the concepts that we're pushing to sort of innovate in the space. And what our main aim is, we want to impact people and show them that everything's possible, and to sort of tease the future, because what we're trying to do is we're a futuristic based company. We want to push the ideas of the future forward now. So doing these sort of CGI has allowed us to tease our long-term visions in a short-term way to sort of test the demand for the products before investing to making them. So that's a cool feature about what we do.
Yeah, and on this one, we wanted to start to bring together is the principle of having an object, but instead of always buying a new object and buy more atoms and atoms and atoms, is that to have something that you can change and the display and change the looks without buying a new physical product in a sense. So that's what we wanted to try out with like this concept of screens, especially because the technologies of flexible OLED screens is starting to be really more accessible now. So it's actually a project we're working on R&D to be able to do a module physically to attach on sneakers. We're still working on it because it's not there yet to make it really, really good, but we can't say too much right now, but we now have like a really great partner. We might work on the hardware side of things for that, so that's super cool.
This is amazing, Benoit. Exactly. I mean, the first thing I thought when I saw this was, why do I need to buy another pair of kicks until I've worn out these ones if I can keep changing the designs and everything? And I mean, just the.
But that's what they do, as well. Steven said, like the sneaker market these days, it's a lot about, there's some iconic silhouettes, and then they just release new colorways, right? And that's why there's some kind of boredom in the market. But yeah, take that over because you do that a lot.
Yeah, and the reason there's this whole boredom in the industry is because companies like Nike, they're focused on profits, and manufacturing sneakers is a very costly process. When you set up all the machinery to do one model, it's way more efficient to just change colorways and do simple adjustments, which Nike's been doing over the last 10 years, which is just re-releasing retro colorways. And I see that the whole sneaker industry is bored of that, and that's where we come into play, is creating new unique experiences for the sneaker audience as the market's developing and people's imaginations are getting they're looking for new ways to express themselves in their fashion. And
no, but also especially a lot of the people who are in the market for that these days, they grew up playing games, so their expectations in terms of aesthetics and what you can do, and their imagination is much wider than the general people 20 years ago, right? So that's why we are trying to fill in that gap and make stuff that's exciting these kids, and not just exciting like people who are just traditional sneakerheads.
Guys, even just looking at these designs, you're convincing a sneaker sellout who only just wears white common projects all day to actually want to try something new. Honestly, sorry guys, I'll admit it. I'm like the hugest sneaker sellout ever. I mean, I got 4 pairs of white, the standard white common projects, and I just cycle through them. But being able to wear something cool like this, even as I'm approaching 40. I'd love to wear stuff like this. This looks amazing.
Thank you.
So, go ahead.
And I'm seeing in the chat like that some girls asking for girl sneakers. So we haven't done that yet, but just to tell that we're actually working on a female sneaker concept that we will share, like I think later this year or early next year. But yeah, we know we don't have any like girl focused sneakers for now in terms of designs, but we're working a really special one these days. We've actually Rasa, who's our like 3D prototype expert, who's an amazing girl, and she's the one who said, "Okay, let's do something for girls." And like, yeah, of course, we're too dumb, and so we're working with her on a girl model.
I think again, it's amazing that your sneakers are available for everybody, not only gender, but even George Boya on the stream chat, who's actually a very well-known artist in the crypto space, is saying, "I want them too, and I'm approaching 50." So I think your audience is drastically increasing. I will be rocking some artifact sneakers with my 3-piece suit, so we will definitely be doing that. As we're looking, once again, we did post the Instagram page to the chat, and I'm sure Alegria can do that as well. But as we're looking at all the different things you guys do, so we've seen sneakers inspired by Marvel. Down over here, I think I saw sneakers inspired by esports, right? So for the Fortnite.
Yeah. So this was to celebrate for the Fortnite World Cup, like the duo that won. Yeah.
And then after that, I really want to talk about this. So besides even, gaming itself, you guys also did a very high-profile sneaker. And guys, you have so much cool stuff on here. I cannot recommend enough that you guys get onto their Instagram page and check this out. Actually, there are 2 I want to talk about. Oh, dude, there's so many on here I want to talk about. All right. Let's hit them off one by one. So let's talk about the Bone series, right? So I see a lot of posts on the Bone series itself. Can you guys tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, for
Z,
sure.
you should go on this one.
We just set up our workshop to start creating the shoes, and we thought what would be the first cool physical release that we can do. And Chris had loads of skins inspired by like the bone style, and it was popular in sort of the fashion industry at the time. So we thought our first physical collection, we should theme it around bones and create the.
Real quick, it's just also because at the same time Fortnite was huge, and one of the most popular skins of Fortnite was something called the Bone Trooper. So I kind of knew that a lot of the audience would, react positively to bones.
And yeah, so we decided to make our first collection around bones. A cool thing that we do is we base everything. We have a scarcity model, and we use the rarity model that you see in games. So for our first drop, we had the legendary, epic, and rare models. If you click off this post and scroll up a little bit, please.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, down.
Down. All right. All right.
If you click on that post where I'm sitting down with the shoes around me, yep. And if you flick through, I can go through each one. So this is like the base version. With our products, we want to make them that they're available for everyone, but we also keep up with the trends with the sneak industry of having scarcity. So this was our base model that was affordable, that we limited to only 150 pairs that sold out instantly. Next.
To add on to that too, we got this idea of doing multiple evolutive versions of the sneaker because of Counter-Strike and a lot of the games they have not evolutive but rarity systems. So this is like the common rarity, right? Because if you guys are used to like video games like Counter-Strike, they divide skins based on rarity. And we always set up 3 tiers where we have, like Z said, the most affordable one, which is common, and then you can bring up the secondary tier, which is epic, and the third tier, that's epic, and then the third tier would be legendary, which is the most expensive shoe, where we make very low quantities of.
So these ones we only make 10 pairs, and from like a sneaker perspective, it's called a full reconstruction. So what we do is we buy a Nike Air Jordan 1 for the sole. We remove the whole upper, remake it. The process takes 40 hours. With this pair, it actually takes 60 hours because all of the bones is hand stitched. It has over 8,000 stitches per pair. So this is a shoe that a company like Nike or anyone else wouldn't make. We also made a 3D printed bone swoosh with our Artifact logo that was molded and pressed. So there's a lot of craftsmanship that goes into a shoe like this. It uses only like 100% premium materials as well.
There's actually a quick behind the scenes video if you want to pull that up on our TikTok account that shows the making of the shoe. It's not on our Instagram, it's TikTok's. If you just search like TikTok Artifact on Google.
You're not supposed to go.
Discontinued operating TikTok in Hong Kong. But thank you. So I think what Allegria has done is he's actually posted the TikTok account for Artifact.
Okay.
In the chat, so people will be able to navigate that. But feel free to talk through it. Allegria has actually just posted it as well.
Okay, perfect.
Cool.
So usually we struggle to fill in the time to talk and the content, but I have so many things, and I know the community has so many things that they want to ask you. Why don't we touch on one last sneaker before we go to, and everyone is calling out Tesla already, but why don't we touch on one last one before we do that, right? So guys, let's talk about major game, major design, your partnership with Apex Legends.
So initially when we had the idea to start the company, we created a bunch of proof of concepts that we post online, for Counter-Strike, Apex Legends, League, all those kind of IPs, right? The Apex Legends one took off by storm. It went super viral on the Reddit account or Reddit subreddit, and then it went viral on Twitter, Instagram, and eventually we got approached by EA Respawn to do an official collaboration. This was actually a recent collaboration. They got announced not too long ago, right, Benoit? Like a month ago, you think?
Yeah, it's been a month now. They launched it. Yeah.
But we worked on the project for the past 3.5 months, I believe. And then this one did very well. We basically did a giveaway with Respawn EA to select fans to send the sneakers to. We made basically one-offs. We stuck to the scarcity model with the shoes, so they're very rare. EA and Respawn also seeded it, sent it to a bunch of their celebrity gamers too, like Bryson Tiller, Murder Beats, who's a really big hip-hop producer who's even produced for Ariana Grande recently. Few others like Jordan Fisher. So yeah, this is that collaboration. We're really excited about.
And on this, maybe what we can. So we made the concepts first, but what we did, and I think we're the first one we did it, but we really treated the design as if it was a video game asset. So we use traditional video game, craft techniques where Chris modeled everything in 3D, and then after we baked all the textures on the flat panel, so that we can print them with super high quality printer and reconstruct the full shoe, so that when you see them in real, like you don't know if they're like in 3D or not, or if it's flat, or if it's like so it's doing this kind of optical effect of like simulating depth when in fact it's still flat. But we use like these video game techniques to optimize the models on sneakers actually.
Yep.
So actually, all the texture on the the actual physical layers, they're all flat, but the 3D the 3D extrusion is caused by texturization.
Exactly. Yep. So the technique came from old video game engines when people had a fake detail by using normal maps or rendering 3D objects as a flat object to place onto geometry to give an extra layer of detail. So we thought this would be the perfect opportunity to try that on. It actually worked out quite well. Like if you saw these are the CG versions of it, but if you saw the physical, do we have the physical versions on our Instagram account?
We just have the crypto, I think. If you scroll
there you
up,
go. The box is really cool too. Yep. Oh, there you go. Here's them.
Dude, insane.
Yeah.
And that box is also texturized, right?
Yep. The same technique. Yep.
Oh, I love you guys even provide white gloves.
Yes, inspection gloves. Yeah.
And all of that is just if I wasn't looking like with a microscope, it really does look like it's a secondary piece or multi-layered.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's insane.
We haven't seen any major sneaker company do that technique yet. Nike, Adidas, they always usually just do patterns or decals, but this is the first time. I think we hold credit for the first sneaker company to do this. Yeah.
No, but also it was cool, and Apex they really liked that we really treated the sneaker as a game asset. So we worked like as if we're designing an in-game item, but then we made a physical version of it, but using the same techniques you use for games.
Gotcha. Amazing. And I am getting call-outs from the community because we know something very big just launched over the last few days. So before we go to Mr. Musk, let's get our gaming on. Guys, tell me about this one.
The PlayStation one? But so this one we did it. We did the first version 2-3 months ago. I don't remember. It's again a design we did that went like super viral. And if you look down, I think we did not this post WhaleShark, but if you scroll down a bit more, right? Yes, I mean that's the evolved version we did.
Further,
a bit further down.
There you go, that one.
Yeah, this one, that video. Yeah, we first announced it like that when we were like showing the two consoles. And people really like that PlayStation design we did because we really tried to replicate like the industrial design that the PlayStation can have done on the console, which we're super big fan of, to be honest, because we love that Sony went like full alien on that console and not try to make it look like just a basic thing you have in your media center, but like something that came from another planet in your living room. And so we did that design. It went super viral as well. Like everyone started to reshare. So the issue is that, on Instagram, people share your stuff, but they don't tag you. But if you look on our tag stuff, there's a lot of them, and we got shared on lots of accounts. And we just thought, like console wars is starting again, and we designed that sneaker around that. And then after we did evolutive version of it, that got quite viral as well. If you look at the which on the Snapchat video we have like the AR filter somewhere.
Is that
If you look at
over-
another one, scroll up.
Scroll up.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, or this. Yeah, this is good.
So this is again teasing the AR abilities of our artifacts, that we want everyone to be able to create content who own them.
So when you guys are doing this, we actually, this can actually segue into one of the questions that we received. So once again, we've seen both physical and AR based sneakers.
Yeah.
So when you do acquire the physical speaker, does it gain that AR experience, or how are you guys going about it?
Yeah, so what we do, the physical ones, what we've done so far, is that it comes with little code where you can try on the virtual version with some animations. And as well, we did augmented reality box as well. So we use the box as an image tracker, and we augment the box so that we always think about content, how people can make some cool content when they receive the product. And one of the big things of the internet in general, but of sneakers as well, is like unboxing. And we thought as part of our unboxing experience to always have like mixing a physical with a virtual layer is really key to everything we do. So all the box we make have augmented reality experience with it.
That's amazing. So it actually leads me to a side question I wanted to ask three of you. So are you guys Team PlayStation, Team Xbox, or Team PC Master Race?
We're team games.
No, I'm PC Master Race. Forever ago.
I've been through. I was PC Master Race, then I was Xbox, then I was. But now these days, to be honest, I just play mostly console, and I'm waiting for the PlayStation. But in Europe, it's coming out on the 19th, so I'm waiting one more week. And first game I'm going to do is Demon Souls, because I'm a huge Soulsborne crazy gamer. So I'm waiting for that one.
We got comments all calling out for PC Master Race, and one of our mods, John, says reasonable people are PC Master Race.
Exactly. I have consoles; they just collect dust. I only buy the consoles for exclusives, and I'll play it. You know what's funny? I've only used my PlayStation for I don't have the 5 yet, but the 4 in the probably 8 times maybe, just for God of War. Grand Theft Auto. This is a long time ago, but I usually game on the PC 100%. Yeah.
Gotcha. You guys are well in sync with the community. Once again, I'll play anything, right? I'll play the Xbox. I haven't touched a PlayStation in a bit, but dude, the new PlayStation is looking very sexy, right? So who knows? So let's shift this conversation a little bit towards blockchain. And I know a very good way to do that is with your cyber sneaker that went very, very viral. And so over here, what we have is the cyber sneaker itself, and voila, you have Mr. Musk. Talk to us a little bit about this.
So on this, so on this is just so we did, as we said earlier, we base our content a lot on what's happening culturally. This one we didn't do it immediately when the Cybertruck came out, but first, when Cybertruck design was revealed, we all fell in love with it because we're all big sci-fi people, and we thought it was a really bold design that Elon Musk and his team did on that. And we decided, okay, let's do a sneaker based on it, and Chris really did it I think in a really efficient way, because it's taking the cues from the industrial design, but it also looks like a really dope sneaker that you would want to wear. And we did the design and quite fast, because we did that before. We like to do these images where we're trying to blur realities, like photoshopping some stuff on some images. The funny thing is that a lot of people don't know what is real and what is fake, and we did that one, and it went super viral everywhere, including on Elon Musk Reddit. It went on Joe Rogan's podcast. It was on Unboxterra, so it was viral everywhere, and everyone was thinking, "Oh, what are these shoes Elon Musk is wearing?" Very few of them were questioning if it was real or not, actually, which was strange. and it made us realize, and thought it was cool, because since the beginning, we always talked around, do we live in a simulation or not? And we know that it's something Elon Musk has been, very active about as well. And we thought that actually, because that image that initially is taken from the Met Gala was seen, our version of that image was seen more than actually the real
The real
image or the
image.
real
Yep.
event by the people like that were at Met Gala, that this became more real than the real event because it was seen by more people. And it made us think around like what is real, what isn't real. That does, you know, what's happening on internet these days, because you spend lots of time on the internet. Is that the reality compared to what happens physically? And we had lots of DMs of people wanting to buy the shoes, but also people wanted to buy the shirt, wanted to buy the pants. They all wanted to buy everything. And and so one thing we started to do with that quite fast is to look into how to make it physically, the sneaker. So that's a project we're still working on, but it's quite hard because if you want to keep that shape and everything, you need to use some really crazy molding techniques. But we're working on that. But that was a sneaker, I think one of the most viral one we had, and really also that started to make us think about that new type of content where we're going to edit an image that we find and edit with the Chris editing skills, edit it, and then that if it gets more views than the real thing, it becomes the real thing. So it made us think around all of that, and it was kind of a important moment for us, I think, to really prove our point around like living in a simulation and how content and what's happening on these social platforms where people share content is actually more powerful in terms of influence than what's happening in reality.
Absolutely. And so once this went viral, this also marked your first step into NFT land, right?
No, exactly. So NFTs and blockchain. So since the very beginning, sorry, I can hear myself in echo a lot. I don't know why. But since the very beginning, we're very interested by blockchain because we also think that it's a new type of economy, new type of currency, and we believe that the kids today and mostly in the future they're going to be using that type of economies and currencies. And but we were always a bit careful with how we use it because we work with some game studios since day one. We had some stuff planned with them, and they were a bit wary around blockchain. But what we saw is that I guess lots of factors factored in, but with the virus as well, it accelerated a lot the digital art space and the crypto art space. And we followed what was happening on these platforms, and we were in discussion with the super rare people for a while, like following what they were doing because we thought it was super cool. And we decided, okay, like it's time for us to make a test in that space. And we thought the cyber sneaker was the best one to launch with because it went viral, and it was also a piece that probably a lot of the collectors have seen online, like whether they knew it was from us or not, because it was shared by a lot of accounts. It didn't matter too much, but it was a great way to start to launch our NFT products and test that out. So yeah, we launched it on Super Rare, and then I think Z, if you want to take over and explain how it went.
Yeah, so it was quite funny. It was our first experience listing like our first NFT. The bids got super crazy. We actually got a bid of $24,000 on Super Rare, and then the bid got pulled, which we didn't know could happen. And the reason the bidder pulled the bid is he was under the impression that Elon Musk wore the sneakers.
Yeah.
But he did in an alternate reality, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what we said.
So then after that happened, when the bid got pulled, we had no current bids because it holds them in escrow. So instead of leaving it up and just waiting it out, we allowed the previous bidder to win it just because he had a really cool collection, and we believe we like having people that are true collectors and true creatives owning our products and artifacts. So we allowed the secondary bidder to win the auction.
And what's cool with the amount he bidded, we now hold a record for highest paid fashion digital item, right, Benoit?
Yeah.
Yes, you do. You guys definitely do. And also that price that he paid, you never see any new entrants into the space, including some of the big behemoths who are selling for like 40, 50, 30F today. When I saw that bidding war and when I saw the final price, I mean it's amazing. Congratulations. You don't
Thank you.
see that. You don't see that from anywhere in the space.
No, but thanks. We only think shit. Like if we knew people could review the bid, we would have taken the 65 one. You know.
I think again, I'm you know, given Elon Musk and given Tesla and Boring Company, how they love to produce all this cool accessories or utilitarian items for people. I can definitely imagine him reaching out to you guys and saying, "Hey, let's manufacture some of these guys."
Hey, well, did you buy any Tesla tequila?
Not yet, not yet. Have you bought some? Have you bought some?
No,
it's sold out, right?
Yeah.
It's sold out.
I think it's sold out. Yeah.
But after the Tesla sneaker, and you know, I don't go on Super Rare very much these days, but I saw that you guys also launched the NFT version of the PS5 sneaker.
Yeah, we did it. So this one it was just for us to just have something else, you know, to launch in the meantime, because and also we launched it on the release day of the PlayStation on the 12th. So we wanted to combine that with this, just launch it at the same time. We need to announce when we want to stop the auction because we didn't announce the time yet. But to be honest, I didn't even pay attention too much so far. So there's 2.5 ETH bid. Yeah. So yeah, it's we need to check where it's going. We saw some cool guys started to bid. Like Coldy is a guy we think is super cool in the NFT space, and he bid, I think. So yeah, we just launched that on the release day of the actual PlayStation. So the funny thing is that the virtual sneaker is already more expensive than the real physical PlayStation. So that's already one little goal we had that's achieved. So that's cool.
I am quite sure that when you guys do it. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Zaptio, go ahead.
No, all good. And we released a digital Tryon filter that everyone can use, and it's currently trending on Snapchat. I think we have over 300,000 usages of the digital Tryon.
Yep.
So
cool. 300K for sure.
Yeah, I can share the link on the chat. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, so everybody can try it out. Yeah. Good idea.
Yeah.
I'm sure once you guys announce it, you will see all the whales come in because this sneaker is just beautiful. Even I'm looking at it, it's just so sleek and minimalist yet alien. It's just beautiful. So guys, what I've done for the community is I've also dropped the link to the PS5 sneaker that is selling on Super Rare. I think a lot of people are going to come on here and take a look. So I do want, and sorry guys, because I know that we're running over time, but I think this conversation has been just so amazing for the community. I'm just looking at the feedback here. I can't even count the number of users that we have on here or on Twitch or who's going to be watching it on YouTube. This is probably one of the largest audiences that I've seen in a very long time.
Awesome.
Let's talk about what's coming up next before we move on to the AMA from the community. I know that you guys wanted to drop something on the community today. Just tell me how you guys want to go about it, and we can I'll let you guys take the reins.
Cool. I think I can explain. So you know, as we said, like we're always trying to first to have fun and to push the envelope forward in terms of what's possible within the sneaker space and now even the NFT space. And it's something we've been thinking and working with really cool artists on for a long time, because it's something we didn't mention, by the way, but we're really empowering young creatives and different artists we love to work with. All the three of us are like big creators fan. We're creators ourselves, but mostly we love creativity, and especially the new wave of creativity that's coming up with all these new kids starting to learn 3D and starting to understand as well what's happening in terms of the different ways to sell and resell art with the crypto space. And what we wanted to do is that we wanted to launch a special project that is starting to have conversation around what is the future of virtual fashion and what is the future of evolutive objects. And so what we did is that we took a bit inspiration from what Virgil Abloh has done with Nike and what made him blow up at the time, that was called the 10, where he took 10 of the most iconic designs from Nike and remixed them in his own way, having kind of that sample aesthetic that he really brought forward to the world. And us, what we did, that we thought, okay, like how can we reinterpret that and have a conversation around the future of creativity and the future of virtual items. So we're launching that on the 19th. We called it the 10, but 10 with an X in the Roman X, not the 1010. And the 10 evolutions. And what we're doing with that is that we start off an auction with a base sneaker that's all white. I mean, it's kind of like cream rather than white. And what happens with it is that we tied in the design to an AI we developed with that creator we work with called MGXS. And we designed an AI that's learned how to paint and paint in a way that is not possible by a human, because what's interesting with anything related to AI, procedural design, or machine learning is that it's creating stuff that you with your simple human brain, you could not think of or create. So we think that's really interesting conversation to have in the future around how AI and machine learning actually allow creators to do stuff that is normally not possible on their own, and really either work as creator on their own or to be there as like the ultimate assistant for a creator, right? Imagine you have like 5 AI assistants, each trained in a specific way, is really gonna feed your ideas and your creativity and your technical skills as well. And so what we're doing with this one is that we're launching one sneaker that's got 10 different stages of evolution. And the mechanic behind it is that the beads are actually triggering the different stage of evolution. And the shoe is starting all white, and the more people are going to bid on it, the more the AI is going to paint on it, knowing that it's all generated, so it's all unique. And we can, if we want to, generate actually 1,000 different unique versions for everyone. If there's enough demand for that, we might do it after, but we start with one shoe that people are going to bid on. And also, we're also releasing 100 blank shoes for people to collect for later if they want to. Pay a bit of extra boost for the AI to paint a unique version for them. So we're launching that on the 19th, and we prepared a bit of teasing content. And that's just for us to test our concept of evolutive digital items that can also, once you win it, the winner will be able to redeem a physical version we'd make for him as a one-to-one. And also he'd be able to use that sneaker in Sandbox as a unique avatar we're creating for Sandbox that only the owner of the winner of the auction will be able to use. On Blancos, we're making as well a special augmented reality filter for it. And we've also been in discussion with Gods Unchained to make like a special card for the winner of the auction, but we need to confirm that with them because we want the card to be really special. And that's we're working on that with them.
Guys, so you heard that. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, so if you guys are curious, we're launching on metagrill.co. We'll get into a little bit of that later, but you can sign up right now just to be informed of when it drops.
Can you guys drop the link in the general? I'm sure everyone is gonna start flocking. Oh, there you go. So I think everyone is gonna start flocking down there. So guys, you heard it here first. So basically, I saw a lot of questions as we were going through. People were asking NFT, NFT, NFT. So basically, what you guys have heard here today is that Artifact did enter the NFT community with the launch of their cyber sneaker. Once again, breaking records for the most expensive fashion digital item in the space. And then after that, what I have up over here, you guys can see the PS5 sneaker. Again, the team will announce when they are going to close out bidding for this, but I will definitely be having my eye on this one as well. And then after that, so what you guys heard here today is the big announcement, right? So yesterday we actually had an artist from China on the stream. Her name is Reva, and she's actually on the stream right now. And she said she loves the PS5 sneaker. And one of the things that she was trying to do was saying, hey, NFTs, and how do I get my audience and my appreciators to be able to join in the creation process of the eventual product, right? Because what Reva does is she does using sensors, using cameras, and then having an algorithm to output a eventual art piece. So one of the reasons why I really wanted Reva here today is also to hear about this. You guys have heard here on November the 19th, you guys need to sign up for metagrail.co. And basically what starts out as a blank sneaker will continue to be painted by artificial intelligence as the bids continue to go in, and it goes up to a total of 10 different stages. Again, reiterating what Benoit just said just now, in addition to that one sneaker that will continue to be painted as the bids continue to come on, and as the stages are passed, there will also be 100 blank sneakers, NFT sneakers for sale, whereby people are going to be able to paint them, in the future for an additional cost. Benoit,
Yes.
Chris, and Zapto. Is that correct?
Yeah, and
Yes,
that's
exactly
correct.
that. Yeah.
And just to
Very
add on the 100 blank canvases that be painted, but they won't be anything similar to this auction. This auction is a complete one of one, and the final product won't be similar to any of the others.
This is another first for you guys and for the space, isn't it? This is and anyone in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think I've seen an NFT that evolves, a one-of-one NFT that evolves as the bidding occurs. And when that bidding occurs, let's say it ends at stage 8, it ends at stage 8, and that will be the final masterpiece, that will be the final sneaker. Anyone in this, and I do believe, being in the space for this long, that this is the first time I've ever seen something like this. So it's just really amazing how you guys have, taken a look at how do I use collector behavior to influence the output or the eventual result of an NFT piece, right?
Yeah, and
we-
also the thing we were thinking on this is that we wanted it to be because it's all based on, you'd be able to pay with credit card, but it's based on ETH, and like the different stages go through incrementations of 10 ETH every time to go from one stage to the other. But you can see the evolution in between stages. So we thought about it that if we release with that one, but we thought that if we do like more like that and they're all unique, like the different owners, like if they meet up one day in real life, seeing the sneakers they wear, they will be able to judge immediately, how much he paid for that sneaker, because the more complex the paint is on the sneaker, the more you paid for it. So it's also some kind of a status signifier that is showing how much crypto you put in your sneakers just by looking at it.
And it also introduces a really sort of, I feel like, an exciting bidding mechanic, because as you're bidding, you're not sure what the next evolution is going to look like. So it adds that sort of element of excitement to the bidding process, which I think the NFT space at the moment has been missing.
A secret handshake and a secret flex between whales, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
So I know that you guys have a video that you guys sent me prior to this. Would you like me to play it?
Yeah, you can play
of course.
it.
Yep.
Exclusive for you guys. Yeah.
So guys, this was, and sorry, let me just stop it and sorry about that. So this was created just for the whale community. It's the first look at everything, all right? So guys, have your eyes peeled and we're gonna start the X or the 10. Oh, that's amazing. So basically what you did on this AR filter is that you actually integrated the AI painting on it as it was as you guys were filming.
So that's a bit of a secret production technique we used to do that.
I'll play that again. Sorry, I will play that again because I do think I should loop it. Let me see if I can loop this. I'll loop it so that everyone can see it as it's going. But that is crazy. So that is basically so just hypothetically or theoretically speaking, this is basically the sneaker evolving as the bids are coming in, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
and so at what stage, and sorry if I'm prying a little bit too much, but what stage is this? What stage would you say is this?
So it stops at stage 10, but we don't show. We also plan just in case people really go crazy and want to bid a lot. There are some secret stages we haven't shown yet that we are gonna generate with the algorithm we did for the AI.
Yep.
But it starts at 0 and goes up to 10 on that. I think up to 9. I think in that video.
Amazing. So guys, once again, everyone listening to this video, you are going to be able to sign up for this at metagrail.co. Basically, you are going to be able to use Ethereum. You are going to be able to use credit card. I believe from our past conversations that in order to use credit card, you need to sign up for Bitski, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Or MetaMask, you can use MetaMask.
You can use MetaMask as secondary. Yep.
So MetaMask for crypto, but Bitski for credit card, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you guys heard it here first. Make sure you guys stop in and sign up, and even if you're not a bidder, I mean, just watching the sneaker evolve, watching the bids come in, I think the team here is really making NFT history because this is really the first time that I'm seeing. Once again, I do know platforms or a platform that allows users to control. But in the creation process itself, every single bid will eventually lead to an evolution of this very, very special NFT. Guys, sorry, I know I'm taking up a lot of your guys' time. Do you guys have about 15 minutes for some questions?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, no, thanks a lot for hosting us. Huh?
No, dude, it's my pleasure. And once again, I personally have enjoyed this conversation, and I know that just from the responses from the community, as well as the number of questions that I'm looking at here too, that they have really enjoyed this as well. So why don't I start you guys off with an easy one? Does Artifact? So this comes from JP Coco. Does Artifact have an intention to partner with the Sandbox?
So we are partnering with for that specific project with them as a first trial. And working to do more with them after that one, because the way we work is we don't pretend to know the future. We have our vision of the future and that we want to happen faster. But we always, every time we do a project, we always do it in a trial approach, and it's not only about trying to test an idea, it's also to start to work with people we can learn from and actually do even better stuff than we can think on our own. So we started with them with that specific project for the 10 on MetaGrail, that people are going to be able to have a unique avatar on Sandbox if they win the auction. But later in the future, we might do more with them because we think their platform is great, and we love as well voxel art, and I think there's lots of stuff we can do in that space as well.
Second question. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, we're looking into as many ways as possible to integrate our NFTs into experiences where people can redeem like a skin in a game that represents their owning the digital NFT. So we're looking into more ways that people can use their NFTs to flex in digital worlds as well as physicals.
Very good. And Zaptio, talking about flex, so a question and a flex at the same time I see from Justin. So listen to this. I agree with Zaptio that the sneaker industry is limited and innovation is needed. Will Artifact be innovative and make sneakers in larger shoe size, because it's really limiting for some of us when most stop at US size 16? And you know what they say about guys with large feet.
No, but we had this question before. Actually, there's a guy on the Apex stuff we did with Apex who was size 18. And then to me, I'm not American, and I did the conversion. I was like, what the fuck? That's even bigger than Shaquille O'Neal, And so the thing that because we do everything, made to order, we're not into mass production because we really believe that every piece of everything we do physically is to be really unique with the proper craftsmanship and attention. So we can actually make even size 20 if it's needed. So yeah, we can cater to any shoe size, like from humans and giants. It's fine.
So Justin, an answer to your flex, Bigfoot man, is basically if you win this auction, and because this auction does come with a physical sneaker, they will make a size 16 for you, and a size 18 if you're still growing, my friend. Right?
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, true.
So, question from Estes today: what is the conceptual process behind the design, and how do you feel you reached the final design?
Okay, on this project specifically, or on when we create in general?
I think she's talking. I think Estes is asking just in general. In general, how do you?
Take it, Chris. Yeah.
Yep. So first off, we brainstorm on the ideas, and then just like a video game studio or visual effects studio, it goes through a conceptual phase where I create like a mood board. And then from the mood board, I start doing a bunch of sketches. And you can probably see some of this on our Instagram, but we'll do a bunch of sneaker sketches, hundreds of them. And then we take those and we finalize one of the designs. Then from there, depending on the concept of the sneaker, if it's complicated futuristic design where it's required that there has to be a bunch of 3D pieces, we go into the 3D modeling phase where everything is modeled from scratch. And then from there, we take it into a program called Substance Painter to start texturing the sneaker. So this is where I start applying all the materials, like this, because Substance has like a whole library of realistic world materials or futuristic materials. We start texturing it. Then we take it back to Maya, and that's when we create the content with it. And from there, we could do retopology, so we can put it in AR or keep it high poly for the content, like for our Instagram or TikTok.
Yeah, and then after, like when we need to make a physical, like we work with Taylor, our shoe master, to apply all the designs on the production panels, for the leather, for the actual physical production.
Yeah, and then Rasa, she's like a genius with AutoCAD and product prototyping programs. So she'll take my crazy designs and make it workable with human feet. So that's what she does. Yeah, when we go into physical production.
Amazing. And thank you for that insight, because we do have a lot of creators and artists in the community. I would say that probably about more than 50% of the people on audience listening in right now are actually from the art community itself.
Awesome.
So once again, what you're seeing here is tons of creators, and you know, I think you all can see that appreciation for the art that's coming across as well. We do have a question from China. So Xinxing asks, when will it be available for Chinese customers, or when are you guys going to go? When are you guys going to start satisfying all those sneakerheads in China?
So actually, good question, because I mean, and we talked about that together. I think we love the Chinese culture, and we love China as well. We think it's like, you know, the most innovative place, and especially in terms of creativity. You know, a lot of people have that stupid idea of, like, you know, China just copying stuff, but actually, if you look, like, it's some of the most creative people there is out there. There's a really big new wave of young creators that are amazing, and us, we are super keen to connect with them. And we're actually, because we know that, you know, our content is being shared in some platforms there, we're looking for someone to work with us to start to manage our Weibo account and some of the Douyin, you know, like the Chinese TikTok, to start to connect
really
more with this audience.
Chinese social media.
I mean, I love it. Yeah. No, but I told you I used to work in Singapore, and I used to work a lot with China. And one of my best friends in Singapore was a guy from Shanghai, who was an architect designer, and he was one of the most creative guys I worked with. He was super amazing, great at drawing, super inventive, and the way he was thinking around creativity was completely different from what I was usually seeing in the West. And I got super inspired by that, and I still follow today a lot of news and like creative stuff happening in China. One brand we love, actually, like in terms of sneakers, is a Chinese brand called Lining. And we think, so it's not very distributed too much in the West, but in terms of silhouettes and designs, they're doing some of the coolest stuff in the physical sneaker world these days. So we really want to connect more. And so if someone wants to help us, you know, work with us on like developing our Chinese audience and do stuff really more catered towards them, we're super happy to do it, because we think there's a lot to do for us there.
I can tell you that there's a lot of sneakerheads in the NFT collector space in China. Actually, Xinxing is one of our chief partners for the Whale community. They actually manage our Whale China community. And once again, it's nothing compared to the traction that you guys have with like the tens of thousands of followers. But, you know, within a very short 1 week, and I'm very proud to announce this now, is that Xinxing and Mia, they come from a company called Beep Crypto. They were able to generate us a community of close to 1,500 NFT collectors who are very avid and passionate. Wow. Right. So feel free. I'll introduce you guys later on. But feel free to reach out to them as well. They're wonderful. They're a wonderful team, and they do some very professional work.
Awesome.
Always connecting the dots here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the other questions, and I do want to get onto these, one of the other questions from George Boya is, are you planning any collaborations with artists?
Yes.
So
we haven't. So the 10 is with one artist that we've been working for a long time, and we're planning more. Like we're not planning. So we have some on the pipeline we're gonna release, and again on Metagrade, because that's the platform we're starting to develop for these very special drops. We have a couple in preparation with some big famous artists from the music industry. We can't reveal for now, but we're working on a really cool project again with a big guy that we really are a big fan of to start with. But also we want as well, like, and that's what we started with our own little creators community that we run with Artifact creators, that we teach them how to, you know, do sneaker design, and we give them some technical advice, also, I think we didn't say that yet, but we also build up our own render farm with NZXT that our creators are going to be able to use to make their content. But we plan to start to bring on board more artists to do collaboration with. We have as well like that little cool kid, 17 years old, Ferocious. I'm bad at pronouncing his name. That we're in touch with. We're gonna make a collab with him soon, and he's really cool guy we want to support because he's full of energy, full of creativity, and he's only 17. So that's amazing to work with such an energy. And yeah, we want to work with more and more artists and provide them with the resource they need to make their ideas happen and work with us on the design. And if they want some physically, stuff done physically or virtually that we can help them on, we're gonna partner with them.
To add on to that too, I can leak this one because I asked already, Benoit. So we are planning a collab with Blau too, and I'm sure you guys know of him. He's supposed to be known in the NFT community. So we're doing. I can't go into the project too much, but that should drop sometime next year.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Again, I think both Justin. So Justin Blau, right?
Yep, Justin Blau.
Yeah.
So Justin and Ferocious are both well loved by the Whale community. We actually had Ferocious on. And so you gotta
cool.
You gotta pronounce Ferocious as a 3-year-old, so you gotta go Ferocious. So we had Ferocious on the Whale FM a couple of months ago or a couple of weeks ago as well, and once again well loved by the community. Love what Ferocious does. So just a question, just following up on that. So if there are just some die-hard artists who are looking at what you're doing here and saying, dude, I can do some amazing designs and I wanna be a part of this. How should they get in touch with you guys so that they can say, hey, look at my artwork. Do you think it fits? Can you?
Yeah, I think the best way is either like if they're on the Discord, they can DM us or DM us on Instagram. So it's one thing we still try to do because we get a lot of DM requests, but we always try to go through every DM we have. Whether it is from like customers who bought our shoes who want to tell us something or some people asking questions, we always try to look at all the message we have and we usually reply quite fast. So yeah, don't hesitate to reach out. Like your message will be seen and we are gonna reply.
Awesome.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, our Discord is our main sort of source where we have our creative community. We currently have 155 artists that we work with. And our main goal is to empower artists and to help them with what they need. We're currently buying 3D models, textures, plugins, and licenses, and also educating and incubating young developing artists. So our Discord creators community is our main source of getting involved and potentially joining the Artifact team, depending on the skill. So yeah.
So I will definitely. So we'll put that out there for all of the creators. Once again, I think they're very, despite the huge amount of hype and popularity that Artifact has, they're still down to earth and replying to all those DMs. So again, feel free to reach out to them with your portfolio, maybe with your ideas. Make it easy for them to make a decision. But put your best foot forward, and maybe I'll see maybe we'll get to see a few sneakers from you guys as well in the near future. Next question. So I have 2 last questions for you guys. The second to last question comes from Richard, our dear friend Richard Kim. Can you elaborate on how the Artifact creator community is structured and what your plans are for your creators more broadly?
For sure, I can take that one. So at the moment, we have the general Artifact creators. So these are creators that have applied to join and we accept them. On top of that, we have the Artifact Elite, which is the elite artists that we choose to sort of work with and also pass them down opportunities that we can't take, that doesn't suit our business structure. Our main thing that we're working on now developing is our social currency, inspired by Whale and what Rich is doing with RNG. We're creating our social token to empower creatives. And the approach we're taking with that is distributing to creatives who join our creative challenge. We run a bi-monthly challenge where we set a challenge in terms of design to mix it in with a sneaker. And based on the entrants, the social tokens distributed out, and the artists can use these social tokens to use our render farms or any services that we provide to develop their skills.
We're providing assets too, so textures for 3D artists, 3D models, like kit bashing sets. So yeah, we're just trying to create this whole spending economy within our social token.
So you guys are making it just really easy for traditional artists to apply their craft to this really amazing world of sneaker design, right? It seems like you're giving them like you're almost giving them like the key on a silver platter.
Correct. Yeah.
Kind of.
Exactly.
No, it's really it's important, and you see like we really believe in Chris, for example, he came up starting to do all this stuff when he was 10 years old. Me, I was on Photoshop, hacked it when I was 12, and we really love this new community coming up of these kids learning Blender, doing 3D, starting to make money with it, starting also to develop their own taste and their own style as they learn. And the cool thing is that they're all like super collaborative, working together, learning together. And especially in these days where everyone is remote, it's cool to have a space where you can exchange techniques and ideas and get feedback on your 3D designs, especially because 3D is still very technical based skill. Anything we can help them to remove these technical barriers, we do. That's why we just took, we'll announce it in a week or two, but we are partnering with NZXT, which is a super cool, computer brand that gave us a render farm so that we can give access to that render farm to these artists, so they don't need to think about the power of their computer. They want to render an animation, they can just use our render farm and forget about it and progress with their art rather than being blocked by a technical barrier.
Next generation turnkey solution for sneaker design and creation.
Yeah, sneakers and toys as well. We're starting to make some toys with them as well.
Toys!
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, because we're all big. Me, I'm an old school cause collector. I used to be a lot into that, and all of this is coming back up. And we have we're planning some cool stuff in that space because it's all linking together. The sneaker community, the toys, the anime, all of that is all stuff we love, and we're trying to merge all of that together to make the really coolest digital collectibles with plugging in that evolution aspect that we're working on super hard, and we will show more stuff early next year around that. And how as well you can also, for those who want to have use that in different games or different simulations, or also have a physical version of it.
So I'll see all three of you at the Blancos launch on November 17th then, right? And we can shoot each other.
Yeah.
For real.
So the very last question for today is from CryptoBlock Dan, and this is a little bit more specific. But he says, I was lucky enough to be able to purchase quite a few Artifact Creator Collection art pieces from the RNG sale last weekend. Are you planning on more sales from this contract? And could you explain what exactly the Artifact Creator Collection is? Who designed the art in that collection that was in the RNG vault?
So on this, actually, it was quite a last minute thing. Like we spoke about with Richard, and as it was doing RNG, and he asked us if we could get some guys of our community to generate some art for a drop he was making. So that collection was done by 3 of our artists that we work with some of the experiment they've done, as well as some final art. And so we should definitely do more drop on RNG. And we've also been talking with Richard to make something really specific for that. So there will be more. We just need to plan it out with Richard and the super cool RNG community in the future. But definitely there's going to be more stuff coming out. And if you ask who's doing it, we start to put them a bit more forward. But our community is really composed of lots of different kids from around the world who are super good at 3D, super enthusiastic, and they all love games, they love sneakers, and more as well, they're starting to get interested in the crypto art space and the crypto communities. And so there are definitely a lot more coming in the future.
This is a little Easter egg. It's kind of random, Benoit, but just before I continue, correct me if I'm wrong, one of the RNG pieces was made by Connie, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, if you guys bought any of those pieces, one of the designers did all the AMD video card boxes. He designed them, so it's designed by the same guy. That's super rad.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Dude, a lot of the artists in the space. I mean, just not even in crypto, but elsewhere. I mean, sometimes they tell you about the packaging or the without releasing more information, but some of the background art or some of the other art that they've done, they just tell you it sometimes, and it just blows your mind, right? That's amazing. That's just really amazing. So guys, again, before we end off, I do want to remind everybody, make sure you do sign up for that website, where it's crypto. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's Crypto Grail. Hold on one second.
No,
Metagrail.
Metagrail. Sorry about that.
Yep.
So,
You're good.
so make sure you do sign up for the website metagrail.co, and basically get ready for the artifact AI drawn sneaker drop. Again, Alegria has posted that in the chat. It will start on November the 19th. Do you guys have a specific time it's starting?
PT Pacific time.
Sure.
Yeah, but you need to say a
but
time.
what time? Yeah, time. Like
10
12
a.m.
p.m. Z.
10
no,
a.m.
no,
PT.
Yeah, 10 a.m. PT.
Okay, so 10 a.m. Pacific time. Make sure you guys are there. If you need a size 20 sneaker or size 18 sneaker, make sure you're bidding on that. For those of you who want to witness history and see the first AI designed sneaker that is done in conjunction with collectors, I'm sure it's going to be an amazing experience that you're not going to want to miss. But in the meantime, Benoit, Chris, Zaptio, I want to thank you so much for your time today. I know this went way over what we originally planned for the hour.
It's all good. Yeah.
But we had so much that we want to cover, and I do hope that this is not the very last time that we see you guys in Whale FM. Would love to come back sometime at the end of this year.
Yeah, thank you so much
sure,
for the
and thanks a lot for hosting us. It was super cool and super happy to meet all the people from the Whale community. We're gonna spend more time in the Discord now and like answer questions if people have. Don't hesitate to DM us. It was super cool. Thanks a lot for that.
Yeah,
absolutely, guys.
Thank you.
Artifact, you guys are amazing. A supernova, meganova. Can't wait to see the results of what happens next. And you guys have converted me from my common projects. Once you guys do have, once I can get my hands on physical sneakers, I will be switching out.
Cool.
Awesome. Good to know. Good to know, man.
And we'll do. I teased it in the chat, but definitely after let's make a crazy whale shoe for the community because we can make something really crazy. So we'll make that after. Yeah.
I'm sure they would love that. Guys, thank you so much again. Good luck with
the
launch.
You.
And I can't wait to see the results.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Take care, guys. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks.